Welcome back to Dream Building 101. On this channel, we discuss dream building. We talk about people getting on their path to success, getting on their path to fulfillment. And we also are talking about my book, which is all about that. My book is called Next Exit, Your Destiny, Taking the Road Towards the Life of Your Dreams by myself, Dr. Ebony Potts. So this evening, I have the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Carlos Ramirez. Thank you for joining us this evening, sir.
Thank you for having me, Ebony.
All right. Why don't you tell everyone who you are, what are your titles, and what do you do?
Absolutely. So again, I'm Carlos Ramirez. I am the CEO of Vets Assisting Vets. I'm a 20-year retired Navy veteran. And so Vets Assisting Vets is the company I started about 2.5 years ago.
So why don't you tell the people, what is Vets Assisting Vets? My husband is a veteran. He's a veteran of the Army, and I came in contact with you through your business.
Sure. So Vets Assisting Vets is veterans assisting veterans. And what we do is we help veterans. And I started out in 2018, helping veterans with just their disabilities, increasing them. The VA does a pretty good job of helping veterans with their disabilities. However, some veterans need a little bit more help, a little bit more attention to detail. And the VA being so big, they're not able to do that. So we provide white glove service to veterans to help them get their disabilities increased. So like I said, we started that in 2018. And it just grew from there. So what I wanted to create is a one-stop shop for veterans for all their needs. I'm happy at where we're at right now. In 2 years, we've grown 4x. So along with the disability aspect of our business, we also help with real estate. As you can see my sign in the back, I became a realtor after vets started coming to me and saying, Carlos, you got me to 100%. I got more money. I want to buy a house. And at first I was just passing them over to friends of mine who I know are realtors. And then I was like, you know what? I can keep this in house. And so I passed my real estate exam, became a licensed realtor. And now I help those veterans that need help with buying or selling properties. And I built a network of realtors who are veterans all throughout the United States. So, because I can help veterans anywhere in the world with disabilities and anywhere in the United States with the realtor service. So if I have a vet that I help in Texas, which I had like 2 months ago, got them increased and they wanted to buy a house, I was able to have a realtor in my network reach out to them and help them buy a house. So that's another service. The third service is credit restore and credit restoration. So we're able to help veterans increase, anybody, but I focus more on veterans as far as helping them increase their credit score and repair their credit. And then lastly is financial service and life insurance. It just makes sense that when we're increasing veterans' disabilities and increasing their income, now they got an extra $1,200, $1,300 a month that they didn't have before. Just makes sense that we make sure that they're prudent with that money and use some of it as a safety blanket to help them protect their family and their future.
Well, that's pretty awesome. And just to let the average person that may not be familiar with veteran service know exactly what you mean by disabilities, those that are not connected to the armed forces or don't know what that is, just so that viewers know what he's referring to is, when someone gets out of the Army or the Navy or the Air Force or whatever it is, they may have service-connected injuries or things that have happened to them while they were serving. And at the time when they come out, they can receive compensation based on those injuries. And it can be a challenge because anyone that's dealt with government on any level, whether they're talking about security, whether we're talking about, even just going to the post office, paperwork can be a bit challenging. And then you have veterans who are coming back from serving, who are dealing with all of the challenges of returning back to just regular life. And then they may have these injuries that can hinder them from being able to do certain things. And then there's compensation that can go along with that. So what he's referring to as far as disabilities, and that's what he means by that. So that service is definitely great for veterans. Any assistance that we can give veterans when they try to return home and start their lives as a civilian is always positive. How did you pick that career path? Like, where did you graduate? How did you end up at this particular juncture where you are working with veterans in your company that you started?
Good question. So I've always been business minded. I think at 23, I started my first business. But my military career, I was in the military for 20 years, and I did like 17 of those years was in law enforcement, force protection, where I was either the K-9 or I was teaching force protection, or I was a chief of the boat. So I did a bunch of stuff that around force protection and law enforcement. So I thought that was my path when I got out. So when I retired from the military, I got a criminal justice degree. I'm thinking 20 years in the military, criminal justice degree, I can get anywhere I want, any kind of law enforcement gig I want. But that inside of me, the business aspect of my life was always there. I wasn't able to do it while I was in the service. And I thought at 39, when I retired, that I would be more suited for a corporate position. So I did the corporate position for about 7 years. And then it just got over me. I was like, look, you know what? I need to start working for me, but I wanted to wait that 7 years to make sure I was able to make a good exit. But I just stood out on faith. I just went out and said, this is what I'm going to do. And it started because I got help. So I went with a company that helped me increase my disabilities, and they did such a good job that I bragged about it on Facebook to all my friends. I got increased from 60% to 90%. And I bragged about it on Facebook and on a Thursday. And then by Sunday, I had like 200 people saying, hey, hook me up or give me some more information. So I reached out to the company and asked them, do they do any kind of referral services or anything like that? And they said they don't, but they offered me an affiliate position and a chance to open up my own business and do the same thing that they're doing. And I was floored. So I did that, and I was giving myself a whole year. I started the business and I gave myself a year. If the business is going good, I'm going to leave my corporate America and do this full time. If it wasn't, then I would just keep it on a part-time basis. And then 2 months after I started the business, it just took off. I didn't realize how much the service was needed. So 2 months after I started the business, I left my corporate America job and started doing this full time and dedicated myself to helping veterans and their families. It wasn't a path that I chose. I think it was just chose for me. It just made sense. And somebody told me something a long time ago. I was like 18 years old. I was like 19 years old when I was thinking about when I just joined the military. And they told me, and I was debating on if I could start a business or not when I was in the military. They said, it was the corniest thing at the time to me. It said, if you do what you love, if you work at what you love, you will never work a day in your life. And I didn't understand. I'm like, that's stupid. I'm not going to work. Even if I love something, if I work, I'm going to be, I'm not going to be happy. But I was wrong. Helping veterans is a passion of mine. And I work harder on my business than I've ever did in anything else. And I've been working since the age of 13, and I haven't worked at any other job harder than I do at my business, but it's not work at all to me. I got vets all over the world, and I get calls from a vet at 2:00 in the afternoon in Japan, which is like 13 hours ahead for me. So, so I got vets all over the world, and my time is like, I have no sleep pattern, because when a vet calls, I answer the phone. That's just something that, it didn't make sense back then when they told me that, but it makes perfect sense now. You love what you do and you work a day in your life.
That's understandable, definitely. And that's something, that we talk about in my book as well. And I talk about finding your gift. finding something you're passionate about, finding something that you love. And, if you can do that for a living, then of course that is walking in your path. That is, being fulfilled. How did fear enter into that equation when you decided to leave your corporate job? I'm sure, you said you have a family. And, when you made that decision to leave that corporate job, which for most people feels like security, it feels like, okay, I know every 2 weeks, every week, however you're paid, I'm going to get this paycheck. I don't have to worry. I don't have to stress about it. How did you navigate around that fear that I'm sure crept up when you decided to take that leap and jump into your own business?
Absolutely. Fear is a constant. So what I learned is that fear is not bad. Fear is not bad.
That's true.
Yeah. So fear is not a bad. That's the thing. The misconception of people like entrepreneurs. There's a balance of fear balance. You have to be afraid, but you have to be confident in what you're doing. So when I left my job 2 months into my business, the fear was there, but the fear was what drove me. I knew the passion was there, and my passion overcame my fear. So I knew what I was doing was the right thing. So when you think you're doing the right thing, no matter what, it's going to be okay. That's the way I see it. So, but definitely, like, I don't have a secure paycheck no more. I left my corporate job. I have to make this work. And that drives you. It's a fear, but fear is a driving factor in every entrepreneur because they do stuff out of need. You need to make a living. You need to sign vets up for this process. You need to sell a house, and that's a huge driving force. Whenever you get comfortable, that you lose. When you get comfortable and there's no more fear in you, then you know what? I don't have to make the calls. I don't have to show the house to the person. I don't have to do this. You lose. So I hope I never get rid of my fear because that's a driving factor.
That's great information. I mean, look at it as something that can power you to what you're trying to do is a good way to take that fear and use it in a positive manner instead of just letting it cripple you and keep you from your own destiny. So that's pretty powerful. If you could speak to someone who may just be starting out on their path to their own destiny or starting on the path to fulfillment for them, what would you say to that individual?
Action, I think, is one of the setbacks that a lot of folks that want to do stuff or want to be a business owner or want to is the lack of action. Some people will research something to there's nothing left to research and take forever to get started. But once you find out, it doesn't matter how much research you do on a company before you buy it. That doesn't matter because once you buy it, everything's going to change. Because you can look at a company and want to start a business and say, okay, that's how that company is running. Well, it's going to change when you're running it. So you can't plan for everything, but you can't plan anything unless you take action. So if you're starting out and if you're thinking about doing a company, you're starting a business, do some research, but act. There's only so much, research you can do. Just get all your ducks in a row. Make sure you plan for the future and plan the exit strategy if it doesn't work out. But I think my number one tip is to act. A lot of people spend time debating on what to do, how to do it. Do it, and then. Because it don't matter what kind of plan you come up with. Once you do it, you're probably going to change. Like my strategy changed probably like 2 or 3 times a year. We're going to go this way. We're going to go that way. We're going to, the overall goal was always the same, but how to get there always changes. But you never know how it's going to be until you act. So act.
That's good advice. You can't get on the road to anything if you're sitting on the sidelines, being, Sunday night quarterback, telling everyone else what they should do. And you definitely have to put things into action. And something else that I talk about in the book as well, it's okay to start small. If you want to open up, some big, huge restaurant that's going to be the talk of whatever town you live in, that's great. But it's okay to start selling sandwiches to teachers at schools or wherever it is. Do something that puts you on that path towards whatever it is that you feel like will make your life more fulfilled. So that's great advice. How has that affected your business, and what kind of adjustments have you had to make because of it?
Great question. A lot of business has been impacted by what's going on with COVID, and my business is no different. It has been greatly impacted. Fortunately, it's been impacted for the better. So my business entails on the veteran sitting in front of his computer and providing data information to me so I can work on his file. Before COVID, life was going on. Everybody worked a job, 9 hours a day, had kids, had life going on, and it was very hard to get a vet to get in front of his computer and provide the information that we needed to get started with his file. What COVID did is put everybody at home in front of their computer, working from home, so it allowed my business to actually, kick up a notch. So now veterans that was taking weeks to get their information, they was doing it in the same day. I'm in front of my computer, I'm at lunch, I'm working, COVID, other than personally me having personally impacted me like that. Yeah. But business wise, it helped out. I'm not going to say it's been a blessing because it's not, but it helped out a lot.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Everyone doesn't have that story, so that's definitely fortunate for you.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to give the viewers some information, or any questions for me?
Yes. So first of all, thank you. I want to thank you for having a platform where entrepreneurs and people in general can come and share information. I think networking is huge. It's bigger than we all realize. Social media platforms provide that networking, but this platform is just needed. There's a lot of people that are looking for answers, looking for suggestions, and not just my interview, but all the ones that you've done in the past and are going to do in the future. It could be the spark that helps the next person start a business and change their lives and change the lives of others. So thank you. My hats off to you for providing this. That was a statement. So my question was, how can I get a hookup with your book? I was waiting for this interview. I'm like, okay, maybe there's a discount code or something I can. But no, I will be buying your book after this interview because I think it's going to be a well read. I haven't read it yet. I haven't got it yet, but I will buy it. That's through Amazon, right?
Yes, you can purchase the book on Amazon. It's also available via Apple. You can Apple has a little book platform. You can buy it from there. And my website will be coming very soon, so you'll be able to purchase it from there as well. But it's definitely available on Amazon. And also, if you like this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I want to thank you so much for being a guest and letting veterans and everyone else know, what veterans sometimes face when they come back, then come home, and then providing a service that is very, very, very needed for those out there. So we definitely appreciate you for speaking to us this evening and hopefully inspiring someone to jump and go ahead and get themselves on their own road to success and happiness and fulfillment.
Awesome. And I'd be more than happy to, if anybody wants to reach out to me, ask me any questions. The 4 businesses that I have, the one is for veterans specifically, because you have to be a veteran to get VA disabilities. But the other 3 are for anybody. So if you're looking for a home, looking to get credit repair, or looking to get life insurance, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you out.
And we'll definitely put your information in the comments. But how can you go ahead and just let the viewers know how they can reach you? What's your email address? What's your web address? How can people get in contact with you?
Absolutely. So the website is Vets Assisting Vets. It's www.vets-assisting-vets.com. My email address is Ramirezc at vets-assisting-vets.com. And my challenge to anybody that's watching this video that wants to use one of my services is, if you sign up for one of my services, whether it's the disability for a veteran increase, whether it's the real estate, buying or selling one of your homes, whether it's the credit repair, restoration, or whether it's the life insurance or financial guidance, any one of those services, I'll buy you a book of Dr. Potts's book that she has out right now. And I'll be more than happy to help her sell copies and give you a free copy. This is just like Oprah Winfrey, like you get a book, you get a book, you get a book.
Hopefully we can help.
Take care of it.
That sounds great. Hopefully we can help people, again, through your services, get on the road to financial freedom so that they can then use those funds responsibly. And then if they read the book, then it can help spark some ideas and inspiration as well. So sounds like a win-win. Sounds like a win-win pairing there to me. Thanks again. I appreciate you.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, everyone. Again, don't forget to click subscribe or like this video. And if you want to pick up your copy of Next Exit, Your Destiny, Taking the Road Towards the Life of Your Dreams, go ahead and go to Amazon. It's there, Apple. And again, thank you, everyone. God bless and have a wonderful day.